Kevin Hart posted this photo along with the caption, coming to Ellen's defense, because everyone was talking about how Ellen has created this toxic environment within her workplace and she's thinking about stepping down from the show. He came out and basically said that he has always had great interactions with her and her team, and he just wanted to defend his friend. He got a lot of shit for it, made a follow-up video.
Really? He got in trouble for that?
Yeah, because people were saying, oh, well, if you're coming out to defend Ellen when so many people have proof of her like being shitty, why didn't you come to Nick Cannon's defense? And then he said that just because you guys don't see it doesn't mean I'm not supporting my friends behind the scenes. Nick Cannon was at my house that entire week when he got canceled, and yeah.
But Nick Cannon said some anti-Semitic, racist shit.
Yeah.
Ellen's running a show, and her staff, supposedly their staff, had a toxic environment.
And by the way, all completely unsubstantiated. Nick Cannon, we have a video of it. We can watch it.
He refused to apologize.
This whole Ellen thing
Which I
started
still don't think he should be
because some YouTube star from somewhere outside the U.S., I believe it was somewhere in Scandinavia.
The girl said she was mean to her.
Someone flew here and was on Ellen, and she's like, I was expecting confetti and like a big warm, and they were not that nice to me. I was like, what?
Grow up.
We're gonna fucking cancel Ellen because a YouTube? Yeah, you know what? They're gonna be a lot nicer to fucking Kevin Hart than they are to you, YouTube star.
That's how it goes.
Fucking the business. Suck my balls.
Her best friend's Bieber. It's like, I'm not defending her. I don't know, but I will say this, and I read this tweet. It's funny. This kid who moved to LA 3 years or 4 years ago put 2 things in LA I can guarantee you. You're gonna get a parking ticket, and you hear a story about Ellen being an asshole.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys,
I've heard it forever.
Me too.
Forever.
And by the way, guys,
but I don't know if she should be
I worked for
it.
somebody named Chelsea Handler for years.
Notoriously known for being pretty difficult, right?
But here's the deal, man. Like, if you ask me, was she difficult? I would tell you no. I would tell you she was in a very high stress job. She was.
She's A-type personality.
A-type personality. She was employing hundreds of people.
She's a leader.
She was the only, at that time, woman in late night. And there was a lot of shit all the time. Were there times where she was maybe shorter than she had to be? Yeah. But what person who's in a high-stress job, who is the leader, isn't at some points going to be short? And at the end of the day, this was just me, I enjoyed working for somebody that I was going to know that day what type of mood are you in.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're thinking. It's like I said with people who are anti-Semitic. Just let me know. I don't want the guessing.
Yeah.
And I respected that Chelsea would say what was on her mind. And if it hurt your feelings, grow the fuck up.
That's also why she's in that position.
Yes.
Because she says what's on her mind, and she's a leader.
No, man. And
also, I think everyone's so fucking overly sensitive. And I know that's a trite thing to say. But I'm not even talking about cancel culture and that shit. I'm talking about how these staffers are like, and then she wasn't nice to me this and wasn't nice to me that. You clearly have never had a normal person job.
Yep.
Because I could go down the list. First job I had was working in a garage, and my boss was Sam Rahimian, this fucking gnarly Armenian dude who went through, his life was hell, and he used to come into the gas station and he'd say, come here, my friend.
Yeah.
And he'd say, come here. You see that sign? It says 76 Unical. It say, it's a piece of pie. You get no piece. I get all piece. Okay? So get fucking back out there. Go pump your gas.
You get no peace.
No peace.
No peace for you.
And I was like, I was 15 years old. I was like, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And by the time I was 25 and some show booker wasn't exactly fucking warm to me, I was like, I guess it's the way it is. I didn't need everybody to fucking kiss my dick.
That's life, though, right? Right. I mean, the deal is this. By the way, what a great job.
Nice.
People are kissing your dick.
Let me play his video. So, because he got a bunch of shit for it, but say it to do this. Mm-hmm. He looks tired.
This social media shit is getting out of hand, dude. It is truly getting out of hand. From showing support to a friend, you get a fucking roar of frustration from so many calls, phone going off the fucking hook. I'm a friend. As a friend, if I have a friend in trouble ever, I'm gonna do my best.
Remember, Ellen stuck up for him during the Oscars.
Then I hear people go, what about Nick? That's your fucking friend. Where were you for Nick? Because you didn't see it means that I wasn't there for Nick. Sad times we fucking live in, man. Nick was over my house every goddamn day. Wow. We went through his shit. I was the one that called the president of the goddamn studios and reached out to so many to try to see what we can do to solve the situation, find a solution. Nick and myself talked, we vetted out the situation as friends. Because I was there for my friend. It's like I'm gonna try my best to be there for all of them. When did we lose sight of reality? It's a fucked up time, man. It's a fucked up time that
right.
we live in.
Here's the deal, though.
right, though.
The deal is like, okay.
At the end of the video, he tries to cancel somebody. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
But also, like, if you're talking about sexual harassment or somebody making you feel unsafe at your work,
Yeah.
I get it. If your boss is an asshole, either quit or fucking deal. with it.
Gary, go back to that picture. Go back to that Instagram post.
Ellen's staff did make some, like, the staff did do some shit where they should probably lose their job if you look into it, where people felt uncomfortable and there's some bullying and some sexual shit.
I can tell you, I don't know Ellen from anyone, but I can tell you this. I know daytime television. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
She has so much on her plate trying to get ready for the next guest, meeting with her writers, trying to change things on the... She doesn't know what's going on with the show bookers. She has no fucking clue.
Ask somebody who's worked for Dr. Phil. That dude, I work on the same lot as that guy.
Oh, really?
That dude, man, ask somebody who's worked for Dr. Phil. Legit nightmare stories.
What, with Dr. Phil? Wow. He looks like a giant walrus.
Legit
Very no nonsense guy.
nightmare
Really?
I've never had any nightmare stories.
Steve Harvey, too, though.
But
Steve Harvey, you know, his staff, like, did you see when that came out? He had a whole thing. And if you've ever done a show, you go, like, people go, oh, this is ridiculous, what an asshole. But if you've ever done a show, you're like, it makes sense. He goes, no talking to me when I get on set.
No, man.
Or when I'm walking down the hallway, don't ask me questions. I don't need to deal. You can hear my topics on the show. I guess no eye contact, a little weird. But it was just like, for him, but my takeaway from the small thing I've done TV and host my own show, it's all about your energy, dude.
Yeah.
And your mental space and your energy and not wasting on making sure every single one of your employees is happy, man.
Does the guy who cleans the garage at the Tesla dealership, does he expect Elon Musk to return his emails?
No.
You know what I mean? Does he expect him to come down and be nice to him? Because that's what we're talking about. The boss.
Go back to
the head
Dude,
boss.
Shin, go back
Phil a
real
dick,
quick to
huh?
the Instagram post.
Legit.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Legit.
Look at
Like
this.
Ellen style?
I heard worse stories.
He looks like he hits people.
I had a personal interaction with Dr. Phil. Nothing
what-
bad, but
he put his hands on you?
He's no nonsense, man.
Both of 'em.
I met with his son, who runs a lot of his production stuff.
he's
and
Rogan's buddy.
And I had a meeting with him to potentially host some show, and I'm in this meeting with Dr. Phil's son. Very nice guy. We're like shooting the shit. He's like smiling.
Is he bald?
I don't.
Just trying to set the
I don't
table.
remember.
He's trying to set the table
He
in my
should go
mind.
bald cap.
But then his
He should go bald cap.
dad just walks in and
And hit him.
he's huge. He's fucking huge. He's bigger than you. He's a big fucking
No, Dr.
dude.
Phil's huge.
I would
He's
love
huge.
to see him walk in and just bap.
Shut up! Come here, you little LA bitch. Shut up! Fucking yeah. No, but
This is Papa Phil talking to you now, not Dr. Phil.
and he just comes in and completely stops the conversation and starts talking to me like nothing his son was saying mattered. And he goes, "Nice to meet you," and he introduced himself, and then just starts talking straight business, no smiles, no anything. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the guy." No, I'm not saying this is a negative. I'm just saying
Alpha
the guy.
ma-
The guy's
alpha
a
male.
no nonsense dude.
Alpha male.
But look,
Where
at,
you're like-
I think this is the real problem. Look at Celtic Tiger 22's comment at the bottom.
Ellen doesn't levitate above the rest of us. She should be held
What sins?
accountable for her sins.
Exactly. Okay, so
But also, it's Celtic
People-
Tiger 22.
exactly. But there are people out there, lots
Punisher
of people
avatar.
who look at being a dick boss as a sin that you need to be held accountable
No.
for. That's a real problem.
I agree with
all
you.
this come, we're like, oh, what happened with everybody? Well, you're giving every dummy a voice with social media. Every dummy out there has a voice on social media now.
Dude.
So you're getting these crazy opinions. These people probably shouldn't be telling you their opinion.
But I also think it starts really young. My dad was telling me, he said, a major difference between your generation and my generation. I said, what's that? And he said, when we went into school for a parent-teacher conference, and if you had a C, me and the teacher would be on the same side and be like, what is wrong? How can we get your grades up? Why are you getting a C? Now, who's responsible? The teacher. Now it's the parent, because my dad worked in education for so long. Now the parent and the child are like, why are you giving me a C?
Oh,
Right.
wow.
What's wrong with you that you're giving my
Yeah.
kid a C?
Wow.
So there's no accountability
Yeah.
at all. And a lot of it is coming from the parents. You know, when Jacob he had this teacher he didn't like in high school. And he was like, I don't like him. Let's get me out of the class. And I said, no, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to have bosses you don't
Power
like.
through it, dude.
You're going to have bosses you don't like. You're going to have people, landlords you don't like.
You have to deal with it.
You have to figure
Yeah.
out how to still do your job or run your life. I'm not going to come in and save you from every situation, because then you're going to have zero problem solving. So this person,
Yeah, you're right.
wants somebody else to solve the problem.
problem.
nanny
But,
state
but
thing,
I
you
also
know?
think also too with social media, like there's a lot of mentally ill people out there, man. And then also with the society and such unrest and unemployment and the pandemic and all
Everybody's
this,
angry.
like
Yeah,
everyone's
everybody is
so angry.
Yeah.
And then this Ellen news comes out and everyone's like, yeah, get her.
Yeah.
Because they're unhappy with their own lives. So it's like, yeah, let's fucking get them, man.
A lot
'Cause
of that
if
is
we're
that.
unhappy, I want them to be unhappy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's
recreational.
like, but you didn't take the
offense,
risk,
yeah.
and you don't have the talent of an Ellen. So you're unhappy because what the cards you were dealt or the chances you never took. So you want to lash out at Ellen or Kevin Hart for sticking up for it or whoever is in the limelight.
Do you think some people feel, I don't know if betrayed is the right word, but do you think some people feel betrayed by her persona and then the stories that they're hearing, that they feel like she's been lying to
yes.
us? Do you think
I think
that's
it's a
part
big
of it?
deal.
She still helps out. How many people?
100%.
This is like Lance
Doesn't
Armstrong.
matter, though.
Like Lance Armstrong. Dude.
Agreed.
Dude.
So much on-
It's
You
image.
know how many fucking people with cancer that he helped with his
Dude.
Livestrong?
His positives so
Oh
far
my
outweigh
God.
his
He was
negatives.
taking steroids. Everybody was.
And so for people to vilify, fuck this guy, I'm like, do you understand the foundation?
And the
His-
awareness he brought to cancer.
Oh,
It
my
doesn't matter.
God.
The image. Let me give you a perfect example. Letterman, Leno. That was the big,
Right.
the late night guys, and they were two completely polar opposite guys. When you heard something about Jay Leno not being a nice, personable person, it was earth shattering because
Was that
he's
the- was that the
everybody's best
rumor?
friend. Yeah,
That was the rumor?
and from what I understand
Is
from Corolla,
everybody a dick, or?
from Corolla, who is really close with Jay, like Jay is that guy. He'll take your phone call personally. He doesn't
Yeah.
need. Letterman never hid the fact he was kind of a curmudgeon.
He hated people.
He did,
Yeah.
and so
But he let you know.
So he established same. I'm sure very similar to Chelsea Handler. It's not like a story coming out like Chelsea Handler was mean to me. People be like, oh yeah, well
Everybody knows that. You signed up for it.
and
Yeah.
and there's a real purity to that because there's no hypocrisy.
People on Ellen thought they were going to be dancing. and shit.
Ellen comes out, she does her dance and everything, and I think she portrays this everybody's best friend. So there is a big letdown, I think, to a lot
By
of
the
people.
way, I think that's why Joey Diaz, and we talked about this, didn't get canceled, because he's shown you every wart and hiccup he's ever made in his life.
He went to prison for kidnapping.
Right. So when this thing came out about him, he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know who I am. I've done even if you're upset about this, I've done way worse
Yeah, you know
in
who
my
I
life.
am. Yeah.
Come from it.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
so there was nobody felt like they were being tricked.
Well,
or-
you're going to get what you order.
Yeah.
Like you're not tricking with something else. You know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You almost there's a little bit of that with Trump too, like in the
100%.
election in 2016. All these things that would a normal politician, they'd be like, oh God, we got to pivot. And go. Trump's like, this porn star's coming forward saying you had an affair with her. She's a dog face. What do I care? You're like, oh, we
Gangster.
can't. This guy's
Yeah.
Teflon. You can't.
But
Fuck
you
it.
know what
just
he was gonna get
fuck
from
you,
the
fuck
jump.
you. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
So crazy.
And so I think it creates a pretty
You know what-
protective layer.
I agree.
Because you're not surprised anymore.
yeah.
The shit he says, you're like, all right.
It's so weird that
But then
you
if
become-
Biden did that, you'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, you know what?
You're 80.
In the elections, when that was happening and Marco Rubio started to come out and take jabs, it was funny. Trump could say whatever he wanted. Marco Rubio came out with 2 insults to Trump. People were like, you're better than this.
Yeah.
And I was like, because you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's not who he established his character to be.
Yeah,
so
you're
we
right.
hadn't given him the okay.
People buy into it, and like the people who have, whether it be politics, whether it be music, whether it be comedy, any facet of an industry where you live your life in public, authenticity to me has always been the most valuable
Number
characteristic
one.
because
Agree.
people will always try to give that to an audience. But if people can sincerely smell authenticity, they don't care what you do.
Agree.
They just know that you're giving
You're
them,
living your
them
truth.
you.
So
you know?
Yeah, you're right.
interesting.
I bet you if Ellen comes back on here, she's fucking dancing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, God, take it down a notch. That's all she's going to do.
You look at. I think you and I have
is
talked
just
about
overdoing it.
I like
Yeah.
it.
She is. for their sweaters and like
Yeah,
all,
she's all, hey, she's all hit it, Twitch, and everyone's all,
pulling pranks with her guests. Like,
oh
we're
my God,
buddies.
you're all crazy.
Yeah.
By the way,
Behind the scenes, it's like her being nice. When I got off stage at the Laugh Factory, right away you go, bro, I figured out what you look like. I'm like, what? This is in front of a bunch of other comics. I'm like, what? You're like, you look like a Rottweiler who got his shit together.
Oh, you do, bro. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, dude.
Grab that mic, son.
You do. Look, bro, look.